Over my 27 years of being alive, I know it's old, I've played a lot of games. I've beaten a lot of games. Just don't look at my backlog. We're not getting to that yet. But when I've played these games, I've come to the thought that each game that I own or each game out there deserves one good chance to get you to finish it. And whether or not finishing means just beating the story, or if finishing means getting all the achievements and all the collectibles and all that, I feel like each game out there deserves that one good shot. Now, obviously, games that aren't in your genre that you like I'm not really a puzzle gamer. I like Tetris, but that's, you know, vastly different than a lot of puzzle games out there. Then I feel like that's a different thing you have to take into consideration. But the justification for finishing these games, it'll either be the story, in terms of The Last of Us, the characters, in terms of The Last of Us again, interesting mechanics, Portal 1, Portal 2, or the setting. You just want more of it. And for me, in that case, it's Control from Remedy. But I was browsing YouTube the other day, looking for a video to put on the background while I eat, and I came across this term, a great game you shouldn't play. And it stuck out to me because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like telling me a movie is so good, don't watch it. Or a book is really gripping, you shouldn't read it. Or like a dinner. This restaurant is so good, but you shouldn't eat there. Now, we're not talking about broken games here. We're not talking about a game that launches that, may run fine on my computer but crashes on everybody else's. We're not talking about those. We're talking about games that are complete, that work, that are just good, but some people say they're so good you shouldn't play it. Or it's a great game, but you shouldn't play it. And so, I've seen this phrase come up a lot with the game Pathologic. And I don't know much about this game. I didn't know much before watching a couple videos on it, but I kind of got that gist, that it's a great game, but you shouldn't play it. So that's why I'm here. I'm taking a dive into Pathologic to tell you guys what I think they meant by that. So the game starts off and it puts you in the main menu, which, by the way, has a banging background track. Just give it a listen. So after you select a new game, the game presents three options to you. You can either play as the Bachelor, the Haruspecs, or the third option. But the third option is only unlocked after you beat the game with one of the two starting characters, the Bachelor or the Haruspecs. For my first playthrough, I decided to play as the Bachelor, which, in hindsight, turned out to be the recommended choice for first playthroughs. Daniil Dankovsky, the Bachelor, is visiting this town to study the village leader, Simon Kane, who's apparently lived for centuries, in the hopes of learning the secrets to his longevity. After watching a quick intro cutscene about your character, you're put into the game. So you're probably wondering who this lady is. This is Ava Yan. She's been nice enough to let us stay at her house while we conduct our research. She does give us some kind words of advice before leaving, though. She recommends we go talk to the younger brother Victor and the daughter Maria Kane before going to talk to Simon. She says they may have some information for us that may be helpful when talking to Simon, since he's the head of the village and he's so mysterious in his ways. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to head over to Victor's house first and then head to Maria's house. So after a quick talk with the Kane family members, they both tell us that we really need to talk to Georgie as soon as possible. He's got some news about our investigation that may surprise us. Let's go give him a talk. That's right. Simon Kane has been murdered, and Georgie thinks it was by the guy who invited us here, Isidore. Something isn't right. Now that's all I'm really going to explain about the story. There's a couple more twists and turns in there that I'll leave for you guys to figure out. And frankly, I'm not that far in it myself. I'm a couple days in, but it's been fun. Story-wise, I'm very interested to see where this goes. But as you can tell, it's getting kind of late out. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to kick back and relax for a little bit. Now we can start talking about the gameplay, and this is going to be the area that turns most people off. So far, from what I've played, I'm about 25% of the way through the game, I've figured out it's basically a walking and talking simulator. Now there's some other aspects that we'll get into later, but you do have the basic necessities you need to take care of. You have your health, your hunger, your exhaustion, your immunity, and your infection. So starting at the first one, health, hunger, exhaustion, they're all self-explanatory. Immunity is how resistant you are to catching disease, and your infection is how infected you are. So basically, the higher your infection value, the more diseased you are. Now to manage these things, you have different items throughout the game world that you can either purchase through shops or that you can find in the trash cans. I personally like digging in the trash cans and finding empty bottles of water, filling them up at stations around the city, and then selling them for some cold hard cash that you can use in shops. To lower your hunger, you'll need to buy food, of course. Certain foods also weigh into your exhaustion levels. So for example, drinking too much water will make your character too tired. For your health, you'll have medicinal items that you can buy in shops, or you can buy from kids running around the town. But for the kids, money has no value to them. Just like all kids today who want a $30 candy bar at the store. Money has no value, so they won't take it. You need to find little knickknacks around the city to trade with them. So for example, that can be needles. For some reason, they really like nuts, as in like hazelnuts, walnuts, almonds. For your immunity, which is your resistance to your disease, you'll need to find little tablets. You can either buy these at the apothecary, or sometimes the kids have them, because what kids don't have pills nowadays. For your infection, you just gotta kind of sleep it off. Try not to get infected. But a lot of your time is going to be spent walking from one area to the next area. You'll go all the way across the map just to find out that you gotta go all the way back to the original person you started talking to turn back in some information or whatever's going on. Now, if you don't like walking around a lot, I don't think this game is going to be for you. I typically don't enjoy it that much, but I've been having fun with a lot of other parts of the game, so I've been able to stick with it. But you gotta read a lot. You gotta read and you gotta walk a lot. And if you don't like those kinds of games, that's fine. To each their own. Whatever floats your boat. But this game won't be for you. I've been lucky enough with my time with the game to where anytime I felt lost, not knowing what was going on, I could just walk around. And that's kind of what you have to do, is sometimes when you're lost, when you don't know what to do, you have to go around and talk to people. And I've been showing the map a couple times, and I'll show it again here. All the red houses are houses that you can go into. They're important houses. Important people are inside them. And that's kind of the game, is if you don't know where to go, that is. You walk around these houses, talk to people. They'll either give you side tasks to complete, or they'll give you more information about your main task to complete. Now, I won't talk about what the information on the main task is. That's for you guys to figure out. But I got kind of lucky. I didn't know what to do. how to spend my day in the game, and I ended up going in this one house and having to run errands for a lady who was too scared to go out of her house with everything that was going on. So I spent the entire day in the game running to all the butcher shops to find 3 fish, 3 bread, and 3 smoked meats, which is pretty expensive. Now, with The Bachelor, you get kind of lucky. You pick up money on when you walk around in the town. You can kind of see it in the top left of this footage that you'll pick up these gray things. I just thought those were pebbles he was picking up for some reason, but it turns out it's money. It's not a lot of money. I don't think it'll float you through the game, but that does help. But I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. If you do decide to play this game, I'm going to tell you a little secret on how to get a lot of money. I wouldn't say easily, but it's a pretty surefire way of getting some money. Oops, sorry. Now that right there, that's a bandit. These guys typically only come out at night, sneaking around with their knives. And before you guys got here, this one tried to throw a knife at me. So that's why I got his feet stuck in cement. Because he's a little camera shy. But anyways, these guys will rob you. They hurt. They're throwing knives. Basically an instant kill. So you want to dodge it. But when they get up close with their other knife, because they got 2, they'll mess you up. They'll rob you. They've robbed me. And they'll probably rob that guy too. But if we can beat them, hand-to-hand combat, mano y mano, we get their money. And if you don't think that's a lot of money, just take a look at what I got. Okay. He had $600 on him. And a knife. Holy crap. Now $600 is a lot of money in this game. It allows you to buy food, water. You don't really need water, because you can get it yourself. Tourniquets, pills. So it speaks for itself. Now when you take these guys out, they'll typically have money on them, a knife on them, and some Wolverine looking claws. I don't know what that is, but you can sell those as well. So my little trick is I go out at night, and I'm like Batman. I'll take these guys out, I'll take all their money. I wound up with like $7,000 at one point. But that's the trick. That's my trick to you guys about how to get some money. Now that last clip really brought something up that I think we should talk about. It's the combat system. The combat system, I don't know if you can tell from this game, but it's a little whack. Anyways, you'll find yourself starting an attack, moving in to hit, and then move out. At least that's what works for me. That's what works the best, and that's kind of how I found a way to deal with it, because when you're up close, you take a lot of hits very fast. It can really drain your health sometimes. What? So as you can see, death comes at you kind of fast in this game. Now you don't want to be fighting a lot. Ideally you won't have to at all, but life just happens sometimes. Now something you may have heard in some of these clips is either this sound or this sound. Now those indicate changes to your reputation. It's typically right after you do something, and you'll hear the laugh for your reputation going up, or you'll hear the cry for the reputation going down. And reputation isn't something I've really talked about yet, but it's really just how the people in the town see you. If your reputation is high, they'll like you more, they won't attack you, which is a big plus. But if your reputation is low, then you'll start getting attacked, whether it be by the guardsmen, random villagers. I haven't seen kids attack me yet, but who knows? And so there are things you can do to either boost or lower your reputation. for example, for some reason, there's people who go around and beat up women in this game. And when I first saw that, I thought, I could help them out. I could get a reputation boost. And you know, by helping, I kind of killed them. But we won't get into that. And I took a reputation hit for that. But on the other hand, killing those bandits like I've been doing, that gives me a pretty nice reputation boost. So there are going to be some things in this game you have to take a reputation hit for, and some things you have to boost your reputation for. Now it's been a long day of me running errands. I had to go get the fish like I told you, the bread, the smoked meat. I'm getting kind of tired. Plus, word around town is there's some kind of plague going around. So I think they'll need me tomorrow for that. So I'll catch you guys later. And with that, that's where I'll end it. That wraps up about my first half of my experience with Pathologic. And you know, if you can get past the walking, I feel like there's a great game in there. There's some jank combat too, yeah, but the story's what's keeping me going. The characters as well, they're mysterious, intriguing. There's a mystery here too that I'm trying to figure out, that I really want to figure out. And I'm excited to get to the end of this. Now my opinions might change once I beat it, but for now, I like the game. And if you haven't picked it up, but you like survival games, and you like to figure out stories, and you like to solve the mystery, I think there's a good game here for you. With that, catch you guys later. Cool. I'm done. This is the end of the video. Thanks for sticking around if you made it this far. This is my first time trying something like this, as you can tell. And also, this is my green screen. So all those terrible effects that I did happened right here on this gray blanket that's hooked up to my closet door up there, and then my bathroom door. I did get heavy inspiration from this by this YouTube channel named Bisley. I'm going to try and link him over here or over here. Either way, his channel will be in the description. He does his effects way better than I do, so go check him out if you liked any of the things I did. But I do appreciate you guys for sticking around. If you have any suggestions, comments, something you just want to say, you hated my edits, you loved my edits, the writing was cringy, I know. The acting was cringy, I know. But yeah, just leave that down below, and I would appreciate a like. And if you guys want to see more, subscribe. I hate saying that because it sounds like a meme, but yeah, thank you. And I will be playing more of this. I have been playing a lot of it on my Twitch, which I'll also link below. And yeah, I'm having fun with it. I've gotten to the point where it's actually starting to stump me more, so yeah, it's fun. But I'll show you guys a quick little tour of my room, what it looks like. I had to pull all this down, and this is where my camera sits. I had to pull my computer out. There's little wires, ignore that shit, but yeah, thanks guys.